can't believe you did that. Oh my god, don't sue us, whoever did that amazing Dragon Ball Z spoof.
Alright.
Okay, Master Fiji here. Again, the one, the only, the beautiful, and my buddy.
Wait, no. I thought you were talking about me.
Whoa, okay. Video over. Obviously, we have not been communicating properly.
I don't need to communicate my beauty.
We have literally been spending the last 2.5 to 3 hours trying to make this dude work.
We mean the deck, not me.
No. Yeah, Damon's actually a total scumbag, and he doesn't want to work. Okay, so we're having the same problem that we had last set with Legacy Lost. Who was the ruler for that one?
Oh, yeah, it's not even on this. It's
this one.
The one you can't see.
Valentina.
Yeah, when she stole Preachy's body.
And not to have too much of a plug here, but if you guys go into our other videos, we have this one video called Valentina. Are you sure? Valentina's could have been a Charlotte deck, you know?
Yeah.
Pretty much the way that we started with making this deck was, hey, why don't we make a Lumia deck and then put Gill as the ruler?
Like that the one Lumia deck we had before the utility belt one. I was like, I built a deck for Gill, and then I looked at it, I'm like, this is exactly the other deck with like
pretty much with like 2 or 3 of the new cards. That's
with
it.
Like the new Valentina.
With the new Valentina, that's it. How ironic is that? The old Valentina sucked ass, but the new Valentina's good in this version of Lumia's deck.
Oh man,
so many like freaking Inception layers of crappy card building here.
Yeah.
Okay, by the end of it, we actually made a half decent deck, and the funny thing is that we finished building this deck. We tweaked it a few times because I went up against Dayman's Persea deck, the one that you guys have seen in our previous video, which is super aggressive. And
I think I slightly changed it since then.
Yeah, just a little bit. But the funny thing is, the entire time I was going like, this deck could easily be toppled if I just popped in a Deathscythe, but I don't want to, because that's just any deck that goes up against an aggro deck is better if you put a Deathscythe. So I faced it 7 times in a row. And I lost 7 times in a row, and then I put in Deathscythe, and I won!
That's so convenient!
Then we're like, okay, maybe this was a fluke, so we actually faced it up against Dayman's Kaguya deck, also another video that you guys have probably seen by now, and it failed, because then we realized, hey, holy shit, this deck is good against aggro decks, but now it can't handle, like, a bunch of additions. So that's kind of where we stopped.
That's hard for black to deal with.
Yeah, black, white, and red.
Yeah.
It's like blue and green. At least blue can like bounce stuff back, and green can get rid of stuff with Heavenly Gust and that one bombardment or whatever that is.
Yeah.
So this deck works okay against the new Persea, which is actually really saying something. We are assuming that it probably works pretty well against the Millium deck that we made, because it's pretty close to how Persea works, but a little bit less aggressive. I think. How do you think it would do against Gill Alamat?
It'd be alright.
I think it'd be pretty on par.
You can remove Resonator from the game, you can remove stuff from hand.
Yeah,
you can...
and actually from what we saw with using Rachel in that deck, a lot of the times the big problems was Resonator removal, but since we only have like 7 Resonators in this deck, that wouldn't be too much of a problem.
No, and they're bigger ones. So the only thing Rachel could be able to kill is Nyarlathotep.
Yeah, so I think that from the way that we built this deck and compared it to the other deck profiles that we saw online, which by the way, just like were in completely different directions than what we saw.
Yeah.
Like there was a bunch of them running similar cards and stuff like that, not to ours, like to themselves.
Like Rook Egg and Messenger Familiar, but if you go with Barrier Seal in the deck, but if you have Barrier Seal out, and any card that has an ability where it says when this card enters the graveyard from the field, do something, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, because it hits the grave, but it doesn't.
And Barrier Seals, Barrier Seal says if it would hit the grave, it gets removed instead. So you don't get the search from Rook Egg, you don't get the search from Messenger Familiar. So it's kind of redundant.
Yeah. So the way that we built our guild deck is completely different from what we've seen online so far, which is weird considering that this set has already been out for a month. We went for hand control. We went for
board
control. We went for removing cards from game and getting guild to flip over and do some really gnarly stuff on the other side. Yeah. So I guess yeah, that's kind of the breakdown. Let's get started. So the ruler, if you haven't guessed up to this fine moment, is Gill Lapis, Conqueror of Attoractia. And he is a Wanderer. He's got Judgment, red, black, and 6. You may pay 1 less to play this ability for each card in your opponent's removed area. And I think we calculated to be around like turn 4 or 5. You've got 6.
It's not too bad.
It's not
especially
bad.
since you're like removing their stuff. So
Yeah, and especially if you've got Barrier Seal out. Barrier Seal's amazing.
I mean, and Barrier Shadows.
No, not at all.
No.
And then you've got Energize red or black, and 0 if target non-magic stone card your opponent controls will be put into a graveyard this turn. Remove it from the game instead. Play this ability only during your turn, which I completely forgot about. Dayman is just looking right at me. He's looking right into my soul, and he's like,
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. I was gonna say it. But you
and only once per turn. I don't like that. I don't like the fact they can't do it during your opponent's turn. If it was only once per turn, but it was every turn, I think this card would go up in like not value, but in usefulness like a bazillion percent.
That'd be crazy. Percent.
That'd
be crazy.
Not percent. Okay,
but
and
that's
then,
fine though, because you use Nameless Mist, and they go to discard that card, and you go, oh, it's removed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you're doing it
Or,
during your
I don't
turn.
know if it does though, because it says card they control, so I think it has to be something from field going to grave.
Does it say control?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if
Your opponent controls somebody put into a graveyard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would have to be from the field.
it'd be something that they
Yeah.
actually control.
Okay, so it'd be pretty much like an addition or a resonator or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Which is
so,
whatever.
There we go, guys. Learning the game with D-Man. This guy knows all the rules. It's crazy. Okay, and then on the flip side, he's Gill Lapis, Rebel of Darkest Fires. Ooh, sounds like
Such a
another.
rebel.
Sounds like a punk band.
I know, right?
Rebel of Darkest Fires. And he's a 10/10. He's Wanderer J Ruler. He's got the ability 0, put target non-magic stone card from your opponent's removed area to the bottom of the deck. If you do, it gains, and this is super important. I actually just like realized this on the last match we had. Gains swiftness, precision, flying, or first strike until the end of turn. So I thought that he gained all 4.
That would be ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous, but I was like, damn, this actually makes his card slightly less shitty, but it doesn't, so you get to choose one. So if you're running your Levitin or whatever, you can choose something other than Swiftness, but we're not running it in this deck, so you get to choose one of them. Most of the times it's either going to be Swiftness or Flying, right?
Yeah.
Or all 4 if you can afford it. And then he's got X. You may play a face-up card with total cost X or less from your opponent's removed area without paying its cost until the end of turn.
So you pay its cost without paying its cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pay 2. Play something costs 2 or less without paying its cost.
Essentially, it's like using colorless to pay
Yeah.
for something that would be like
Yeah.
a red or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can only play this ability once per turn, which is nice, but as fate would have it, and as unlucky as I am, every time I play up against Dayman, he never plays any goddamn cards I need. He's like, hey, Master Fija, why don't you play one of my Komodos? It's like, because I don't have any Resonators, you douche. Okay, and then his final ability is red and black. Put 2 target non-magic stone cards from your opponent's removed area onto the bottom of their deck. If you do, destroy target resonator.
Except if they have barrier. I love Will-O-the-Wisp.
God,
Alright.
this Kaguya matchup was so bad.
Let's start off.
Just so bad.
First one, we got 2 Deathscythe. Definitely needed to add those to go against the Chrysia deck.
If we were doing it like we did with some of our old videos where we made side decks and stuff like that, I would definitely say put this into the side deck. But we're not, so this is...
Like against Kagi, you did not need that.
Yeah, or anybody who's still running Levitin. Actually, Damon and I were just making jokes about how they haven't reprinted Levitin in Vingolf 3, so there might be a chance that they won't, or they might put it into Vingolf 4, and then it'll just be like, hey, guess who's here for another cluster? At which point,
Wouldn't you love that?
I'm gonna just stop playing this game.
Alright, next we got 3 Nameless Mist.
Oh, and by the way, for these guys were running too, if you guys didn't know.
Yeah. 3 Nameless Mist. So, pay 1, look at your opponent's hand, choose a non-resonator card. They discard that card, put a 1/1 counter on a resonator you control. That's really nice because on your turn, you pay 1, you remove something from their hand, and then right away... Oh, no, you can't. Yeah, because
you can't,
control.
right, because that's to be control.
But, you know, it gets into the grave, and Barrier Seal would be nice. It's another card that's coming up.
Yeah, Nameless Mist, so running 3 of those.
Yeah, so just non-resonator card.
Yeah, so just as a bit of like a shake-up, if you guys wanted to, if you're going up against a deck that has a lot more resonators than it has non-resonators, like if you're going up against Chrysia, for instance, we actually, what is it?
I don't own any.
Yeah, we
Scorn of
proxied
Dark
Scorn of
Alice.
Dark Alice. But whatever, man. It's an older card. I actually like this one better, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you got yourself the Vingolf or something, you got it in there, or from older sets, Scorn of Dark Alice is really useful. We're running 3 Barrier Shadows. So it's a 1-cost addition field. Your opponent pays 1 more to play Judgment or God's Art abilities. Your opponent pays 1 more to play Regalia's activate abilities. So like the tapping of the Regalia, not actually playing it.
Yeah. So it's another slowdown card, and it's actually really nice against your super aggro decks or just guys that are trying to like take you out 3rd or 4th turn. Do you know what I actually noticed, Damon? Every time that I see this version of Barrier Shadows, like not the one that's like the more cartoony version, she looks like she's like in her late 20s, and she kind of looks like a pinup girl as opposed to your usual like young looking Alice, hey?
Yeah.
I wonder why they decided to do that.
I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, okay, so running 3 of those Barrier Shadows.
Alright, we're running 3 Amaterasu's Foresight? I don't even know. Anyways, 2 costs, white 1, quick cast, prevent all damage that will be dealt by J/Resonators' turn. So it's nice little, just buy another turn of setting up.
Yeah, and it's awesome because it's a 2-drop. It works with the colors that we're using in this deck, and it's quick cast. But the thing you have to remember is that you have to do this pretty much right after they declare their first attacker. Because like you can't, it's not like in Magic where they have to attack with everything at once. You have to do it after that first attacker, or else everything with that one and everything afterwards until you actually activate it is going to hit you, right? So running 3 of these guys.
All right, we're running 4 what is it?
Unending Hatred.
Yeah. So red black, choose 1. If you control a fire J/Resonator and another darkness J/Resonator, you may choose both. Doesn't really happen all too often.
No, because we don't have enough Resonators in the deck. But
we use it mostly for, you know, searching into their hand and grabbing a card and removing it from game. So either you destroy all Resonators your opponent controls, total cost 1 or less, or look at your opponent's hand and you may choose a card. They remove that from the game.
Yeah, this one wasn't particularly useful against the Kaguya build that we had because most of the decks most of the Resonators in that deck that he had were 2 cost or more. But this would be a little bit more useful against like your Millium deck, for instance, because you had a lot more of the 1-drops, right? But yeah, we use it mostly for hand control, which is awesome because it gets rid of it from the game. So we're running 4 of those guys.
Running 4 Faded Reunion, so again, like the previous one.
Exactly. If you're running black, you should be playing this. If not, stop playing the game and go play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because obviously you have no idea how to play sophisticated card games.
All right. So choose 1. If you control 2 or more Darkness J/Resonators, you may choose both. Search your deck for a card, then shuffle the rest of your deck and put that card on top or draw a card. So we're just going to search for this, and it's just going to go on top since we don't have a lot of Resonators, but that's fine.
Running 4 of those bad boys.
All right, and we're running 4 Crimson Ray. So red-white, quick cast. This card deals 600 damage to target player or J/Resonator. You gain 600 life.
Yeah, this is awesome because it's spot removal again. It works with our colors. It's a 2 cost. Like with the way that the deck is built, we actually have most of our stuff in the 2 and 3 zone. So having something this low as a spot removal is nice, and it gives us that extra life point to like keep us in the game.
Yeah. Running 2 Barrier Seal. So
this is the bread and butter. This is pretty much what the deck is built around.
Red-white addition. When this card enters your field, remove all cards in all graveyards from the game. If a card would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, remove from the game instead. So, just perfect.
Yeah, man. It's awesome.
1 Black Moonbeam.
No surprise here.
2 cost, quick cast, destroy a target J ruler. The players cannot chase this card. So.
Also, I swear to God that Damon has just like a bazillion of those promo ones, and they look so cool.
I love the promos. Okay, we're running 4 Swirling Demon Dimension. Red, black 1, quick cast, remove target Resonator from the game.
Quick cast. It's amazing. You leave 3 of your stones open for the turn. You just let them come at you, and boom, unless they do counters, like Dayman completely just shattered my dreams with in our Kaguya face up. It's just a really good card.
Yeah. 2 Interdimensional Escape, so it's an instant, so quick cast. Each player chooses Resonator they control and banishes the rest. So it gets around Barrier, for example. Like in a matchup I had against my buddy's Zero deck when he was running all the angels and that new Arla that gives barrier to other flyers and all that kind of stuff. That would get around that because he has to pick one and then banish the rest. If you're able to like have 2 Arlas out and everything has barrier and everything. So I had to deal with that. That's a perfect card for dealing against something like that. 1 Eternal Recurrence. So just pay 5, destroy all Resonators.
Yeah,
So,
as if you actually look really close, my boy Makagi's on the background there.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope that he's a J ruler again in the next set.
probably will.
I would lose my mind. Him and Thousand Keys.
Dual color. I don't know.
Yeah?
Maybe.
Red black?
They already have a red black. I don't know.
They already have like a combo of everything, man.
Yeah. I don't know what it's gonna be then.
Yeah.
So here.
Time to show Resonators.
Yeah. So I don't know why it took me so long to think of this one, but it was a great idea.
Oh, I'll let you explain this one here. I'll hold the
Alright.
card. Oh my god, the combination's amazing.
All right, so Nyarlathotep, the Crimson Radiance. So it is red-white, 7/7. So it has limit counter 1. So when you attack or block, you remove a limit counter at the end of the turn. If there are no limit counters on that card, it returns to your hand. So when you're playing it, you may pay an extra white for that White Awakening. When this card enters your field, remove target Resonator from the game. When this card leaves your field for a non-field zone, put that removed card into its owner's field. So on the J ruler side of Gill Lapis, or on the next Resonator here, they both have abilities where they can pay 0, grab a card from the removed area and put it on the bottom of the deck to get an extra ability. That card that you remove with the White Awakening of Nyarlathotep, you can grab with that 0 cost ability to put it on the bottom so they can't get it back even if you lose this creature, which is great. The Red Awakening, so you can pay an extra red when you play this. You can, when this card enters your field, you may play a Light or Fire Chant with total cost 3 or less from your hand without paying its cost. So everything that we have in our deck that's 3 or less is a red or a white chant, so you pretty much are able to play anything other than Black Moonbeam for free if you pay an extra red on it. So I consider it a 3 or a 4 drop.
Yeah, and the awesome part is, and like I actually just learned this from Dayman from playtesting today, is that you can totally do both.
Yep.
You can do the white and the red Awakening.
Yep.
So we're running 3 of these guys.
All right, we're running 4 Valentina, the Twilight Passion.
As much as I hate Valentina, like both the previous one, like J ruler and just the character in general, I actually really like the design on this one.
So it's a 4-drop red white 2, red black 2, 9/9. It's a 12 apostle. I don't think you've actually been playing the ender ability of this right during your playtesting. Totally forgot about it. But anyways, if a Resonator dealt damage by this card, this turn would be put into a graveyard, removed from the game instead. When this
Are you talking about the first ability?
No. When this card enters your field, remove target Resonator your opponent controls with total cost 2 or less from the game.
Is that the one you were talking about?
Yeah. Did we do that? I forget.
I don't know, because your guys had barrier. I couldn't target them.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
So you can pay 0 on this card, and you can grab a card from the opponent's removed area, put it on the bottom of the deck. If you do, it gains swiftness or precision until end of turn. You can pay 0, put 3 target non-Magistone cards from your opponent's removed area on the bottom of their deck. If you do, it gains +5/+5 until end of turn. So you can stack that. So if you have like 9 cards in the removed area, you can go 3, 6, 9, and then go 5, 10, 15.
I mean, and ideally you'd want to do this like after you've already flipped Gill.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to pay as much for his judgment.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can make her really, really strong. And the best part is that you can actually just leave her as a defender and then buff her up if somebody attacks. And a lot of people will forget about that.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that was really handy.
He's really good. I
Oh, yeah.
wish there was a way to cheat her in for cheaper. Like 4 is good, and she's only like she takes up the 4 slots of our total of 7 Resonators in this deck. But just 4 is so expensive with how slowly you get stones out in this
Yeah,
deck.
that's why we definitely focused on removal.
Yeah.
All right, stone lineup.
Let's do stones.
So I only have 3, but you'd want 4.
Yeah, we've got a
Magic
got a bit
Stone
of
of Ebon home. So if your ruler isn't Millium, it enters rested unless you pay 300. Sorry, not Millium. Gill.
got a million on the brain, bud.
Yeah, I know. That's because I keep thinking Gill.
Yeah.
But anyways, This card is both a Fire and Darkness Magic Stone. Tap for red or black. When this card enters your field, remove the top card of your opponent's deck from the game.
That makes things so much faster.
Oh, yeah.
If you're running Gill, like this new Gill, run 4 of these. Trust me.
Oh, yeah. 4, Magic Stone of Heaven's Rift.
Coolest band ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, white, black. Yeah.
Not much to say there.
2, Magic Stone of Heat Ray.
I actually think this one, especially the full art ones, these ones were the coolest dual stones, in my opinion, from the screw it. Oh, no, screw it. The coolest ones from the what is this? Curse? Yeah. Curse the Frozen Cascade.
Yeah.
Just looks so like praise the sun.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, that's all.
Okay, guys, that was the deck profile for the new Gill. I had a decent amount of fun making this one. I got my ass kicked a bunch of times in the playtest, but we oh god, shake.
And if you have sleeves like these, you're just gonna win.
Yes, because actually that looks more like Gil's dad.
I know.
Daddy.
I ain't Joe Daddy.
Pretty much. Yeah. So if you guys have any suggestions, please give us some comments, like, subscribe, the usual, and tune in. You know, look forward to. Oh, we're gonna be doing a challenge video. We're gonna get back into
and a match.
Yeah, we're gonna start recording some matches here, so you can see how the decks actually work as opposed to just taking our word for it. Even though you should always just take everyone's word for everything.
Yeah, nothing's a lie on the internet except for April Fool's Day.
Dude, that's why they have YouTube, like vetting everybody. Nobody would lie on YouTube.
Never.
Ever.
Ever. Yeah.
Okay. Like, subscribe.
If somebody emails you from saying they're from Nigeria and you need to help them send them money, just do it. Just help a guy out.
If you question people from Nigeria, you're sexist. Good night, everyone.